She drove through my gate again. I froze for a moment, my chest tightening, hands curling into fists, nails digging into my palms. The sound of metal scraping against wood was like nails on a chalkboard, and I could feel my heart pounding as if it were trying to escape my ribcage. It wasn't the first time she'd done it, but this time, the audacity of it, the sheer disrespect, pushed me to the edge. I had tried to be patient, I had tried to reason, but she had no intention of stopping. Every morning, like clockwork, her car would roll through my property, leaving tire tracks that ruined my freshly mowed lawn. My neighbors had started noticing. Some whispered, others laughed quietly at the sheer nerve she had. And yet nobody dared confront her. Except me. I remembered the first time it happened. I had stepped outside, coffee in hand, hoping for a calm morning. Instead, I was greeted by the crunch of her tires carving through my gate like it was nothing. I called out, "Hey, that's private property." But she just waved dismissively, smirk spreading across her face. "Relax," she said. "It's just a gate." Her tone was light, but the condescension was heavy enough to crush any patience I had left. I remember feeling my blood boil, a mix of disbelief and helpless rage. How could someone be so oblivious to basic respect? So entitled, so infuriatingly untouchable? Days turned into weeks, and weeks into a ritual of frustration. Every morning I'd watch her approach like a predator, my gut twisting, my mind racing through ways to stop this madness. I tried everything. I spoke to her. I called the HOA. I even left polite notes. Nothing worked. Each time she crossed my property line with that same smug grin, that same careless arrogance. My emotions oscillated between rage and disbelief. I hated her. No, I loathed her. Every fiber of my being screamed for justice, for some form of payback. But I had to be clever. I couldn't just confront her directly. She thrived on confrontation. She loved to feel untouchable. Then came the night I decided enough was enough. I stayed awake long after sunset, pacing my small backyard, thinking, analyzing, planning. I studied her routines. She was predictable. Always the same route, same speed, same smug expression as she barreled through my gate. That was her weakness, her predictability. I would use it against her. I went to the hardware store at midnight, buying every piece I thought I could use. Stakes, ropes, a hidden ramp, some heavy-duty paint to mark tire patterns, and a small but sturdy barrier disguised under some shrubs. I wasn't going for destruction. I was going for humiliation. She needed to understand in the most unforgettable way that her arrogance had limits. The next morning, I watched from behind my curtains as she approached, unaware. I could feel my heart racing, anticipation and anxiety warring inside me. My fingers were cold despite the rising sun, my breath shallow. Her car turned the corner, and I felt my stomach knot. The crunch of gravel under her tires grew louder, each second stretching into an eternity. And then the moment arrived. She hit the trap. Tires skidded. She tried to reverse, but the barrier had wedged her perfectly. I could hear the panic in her voice as she slammed on the brakes, honking, swearing, and realizing for the first time that she wasn't in control. I stepped outside slowly, savoring the moment. Sunlight hit my face as I walked toward her car, each step deliberate, confident. Her face went from smugness to disbelief to sheer panic. What did you do?" she yelled, pounding the steering wheel. Her voice cracked under stress, and I could almost hear the realization sinking in. She had underestimated me. I smiled calmly and said, "Maybe next time you'll think twice before treating someone else's property like it's yours." I could see her trying to maneuver, but every attempt only made it worse. Neighbors peeked from windows, whispering, some laughing. The satisfaction was almost dizzying. I felt a weight lift off my shoulders, years of frustration evaporating in that single, perfect moment of victory. But the story didn't end there. She tried calling the HOA, claiming injustice, claiming sabotage, but the video I had discreetly set up told a different story. Her cries for sympathy fell flat. Her car had left tire marks on her own reputation. By the afternoon, the story had already started circulating among neighbors and online groups. People were sharing it, laughing, praising the cleverness of the trap. I stayed back, watching, letting the viral nature of her embarrassment unfold. It was surreal. My simple, calculated plan had turned into something much bigger than me. I had become a local legend overnight, a symbol of clever, earned revenge. Looking back, I realized something important. This wasn't just about the gate. It was about respect, boundaries and refusing to be treated as powerless. It was about taking control when someone thinks they can bully you. I didn't destroy her car, I didn't threaten her. I simply created consequences for actions she thought were consequence-free. And in doing so, I reclaimed not just my gate, but my dignity. Every laugh from the neighbors, every shared video, every stunned expression on her face was validation of that truth. In the end, justice doesn't always need courts or lawyers. Sometimes it just needs intelligence, patience, and timing. And the thrill of seeing someone who thought they were untouchable realize they are anything but? That's unmatched. I still smile thinking about it. The way her arrogance crumbled, the way I outsmarted her, the way my quiet planning turned into viral fame. That feeling of vindication, of sweet earned payback, is something I will never forget. So if you've ever felt powerless, underestimated, or disrespected, remember, there's always a way to take back control. You just need to be smart, observant, and a little patient. And when justice finally lands, it's not just satisfying and it's unforgettable.